everyone and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, then hi, my name is Lauren. And on my channel, we mostly talk about anything luxury, but we also discuss lifestyle and beauty. So if you're interested in any of these topics, please consider subscribing to my channel and we'll get started with the video. So in today's video, I'm presenting you another episode of my Real versus Fake series, this time featuring the Dior Bobby bag. By the way, this is a handbag that I have fairly recently unboxed on my channel, so if you are interested in seeing the unboxing of the real one, then I will go ahead and leave the video in the little information link over here for you to see it. But if you are curious to see the differences between the real and the fake, then please keep on watching. Alright, so first things first, let's talk about the packaging. And here, right off the bat, there is a huge difference when it comes to the boxes. They actually look nothing alike. By the way, can you tell which one is the real one and which one is the fake one? So over here in this hand, we have the real box, and in this other hand, we have the fake box. I would say that the fake box, which again is here, is kind of like in the style of the real one, which is here. But there are huge differences. Noticeably, the first one would be the size and the shape of the box. I mean, one looks more like a square, the other one looks more like a rectangle. One is very large, the other one is not. The drawings are also not the same on the boxes. And then there is also a difference when it comes to the logo, the size of the logo. So on the real one here, the size of the logo is relatively large, the font, and then it's in like shiny golden letters. And then on the fake one, which is here, it's in like matte golden letters, so you can see it's very different. I'm not sure if this is because it is a box of another item from Dior, maybe it's like a shoe box or something like that, and this is reserved for handbags, but right off the bat, there is a huge difference when it comes to boxes. Next up, we have the dust bags. And here I feel like it's a little bit similar to the boxes. There is a huge difference in size. Of course, this one is the fake one, and then this one is the real dust bag. So the size is similar to the size of the box. Here for the dust bag, they chose a very small one. And then for the real one, it's a large dust bag. Additionally, I would say that the color of the fake one, which again is here, is a little off. The color of the dust bag is more like off-white than white. And here for the real one, it's like bright white. And then lastly, we have the font. So the font in the real one, which is here, is really similar to the font that was on the box. So it's like bright, shiny gold letters. And here it's more like matte gold letters. So it's the same color, but it's just a difference in the shiny level. Other than that, I feel like the quality of the fabric is here for the dust bag. So that's something nice. I have seen in a couple of unboxings or like real versus fake videos of fake items where like the quality of the dust bag is not there at all, and here it is. So yeah, it's kind of nice. It's definitely something that I will be able to use at least for something. Alright, so now let's move on to the bags themselves, and here I have to say that I am speechless. There is visibly very little differences between the real one and the fake one. By the way, let me know if you can tell which one is the fake one and which one is the real one. I feel like, honestly, you cannot tell. It is impossible. From the camera, from where the camera is, that would be impossible. So by the way, this one over here is the real one, and then in this hand, we have the fake one. I always keep them like this so I don't mix them up, and here, like, I'm already stressed that I'm going to mix them up. So let's start with like the obvious things. Noticeably, the size and the shape of the bags are the same. The very same to the same millimeter. It is the very same bag. There is no difference in size. There is no difference in weight. And then there's also no difference in color. And then this is something that I find quite interesting because the shade of the bag is called off-white. I think it's called Latte from Dior. But it's kind of like an off-white. It's not cream, it's not white, but it's, yeah, I would say off-white. And they have replicated in the fake one here the shade wonderfully. It is exactly the same shade of off-white as the real one, which is here. So the next thing that we're going to compare is hardware. Obviously both feature gold hardware. And here I think that it honestly took me like 5 minutes off camera to come up with a difference. But I did come up with one, and it is the shade of gold hardware. Now, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while and you've seen like a couple of these real versus fake videos, I feel like a lot of the fake ones kind of overdo it with the tone of gold and generally will feature something that looks like, of course it isn't, but that looks like 24K gold, like super bright yellow, you know, super gold. And here I feel like it's the opposite. So in fact, the real one, which is here, features more of a bright golden tone than the fake one, which is here. But it is honestly almost unnoticeable to the naked eye. I think that I had to look at it for 5 minutes. And I didn't just look at like the buckle, I also looked at like the sides of the bag and everything to kind of find a difference. But it was definitely very hard. Additionally, I think that when you look at the buckle and when you look at the stitching that's on the sides of the bag, it is virtually the same thing. I honestly couldn't come up with a single difference when it comes to the stitching. It's perfect quality, which is really rare for a fake. I feel like sometimes that's where you can tell that it's not an authentic item. But here, I don't think that I would be able to say that there would be a single difference when it comes to stitching. So now let's move on to the back of the handbags. And here I would say that's actually the most noticeable difference, and that's saying something because it's barely noticeable. So if you look at the back of the handbags on both, it says 30 Montaigne, and that obviously is the address of their flagship store, Avenue Montaigne in Paris. The way that it's written is slightly different. So if you're taking a look at the real one, which is here, the writing is a little bit higher, and you can see a lot more that's coming out of the pocket than on the fake one, which is here. Now this is something that you're gonna see a lot more on the close-ups that I will feature in like 1 second. However, the thing that I have to say is like, I had to look at it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I see. It's not something that you would be able to spot like this on its own if you weren't taking a look at the real version next to the fake one. And then also, because it's the back of the handbag, this is something that's gonna be like on your coat or on your dress or like resting against you, but it's not something that people are gonna be able to see. So that's also something to think about if you're, you know, thinking of acquiring the fake one. This isn't like the biggest difference because it's not the part that people are gonna take a look at when they look at your handbag. They're not necessarily looking at the back right away. But I would say out of the entire handbag so far, that is the biggest difference. Now, another thing that I have looked at is the straps, and I felt like, you know, the reason why I got this particular handbag, the real one, in the first place was because I wanted to have a crossbody bag that was fitting for my body type. If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, I'm 5'11" or 180 centimeters, you probably know that already. So I am quite tall, to say the least, and it's very hard for me to find crossbody bags. So this one, because it has an adjustable strap with several holes, it makes it possible for me to put it in the last hole so that it is a crossbody option for me. And that's something that I really appreciate about this handbag. So basically on the fake one, it has exactly the same number of holes, and that's 5. And then it also comes with, you know, the same length of the strap, so it's virtually the same thing. I would say the one tiny difference, and here it's very interesting, you will see this on the close-ups, it's on the real one, which is here. The strap is slightly, let's call that wrinkly. The leather has slightly kind of like crumped up, like it kind of looks like stretch marks almost. It's very interesting, it's very funny when you think about it. And here it looks perfect, like kind of like tense, very, you know, put together. So, you know, usually I would feel like the fake has the less good quality, and that's, you know, what you think about, it's like normal. But really, I feel like for this time, like the fake one looks better than the real one. Now, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not something super noticeable on the real one, but I definitely did notice that there was some wrinkling in the leather on the strap for the real one. And lastly, the last difference to talk about is the inside of the bag. And this is where things get interesting. Virtually, the inside is exactly the same. The inside of the bag looks mirror replica, mirror quality, exactly the same thing. Both of the bags feature like a small pouch, where you can place like maybe, I don't know, like a card or like a perfume sample or something for like easy access. And then on that little compartment, it says Christian Dior, Paris, and then made in Italy. So it says exactly the same on both. Now the difference, and you will see this in the close-ups, it's going to be much more apparent than now. The difference is the location of that little pouch. So the location of that compartment is placed slightly, and I say very slightly, lower on the fake one, which is in this hand, than on the real one, which is in this hand. Additionally, if you open that little compartment, that's where the serial number of the bag is located. And that's the case for both handbags. Now the one difference is obviously, well, they have a different serial number. The serial number features the same format, so it's 2 numbers, 2 letters, 4 numbers, and that's the case for both of these. But it's just, there are some dashes in between the numbers and then the letters and then again the numbers. And the dashes on the fake one, which is here, are a little smaller than on the real one, which is here. Also, the font of the serial number is smaller on the fake one than on the real one, but it isn't like super noticeable. Honestly, it's not something that I would be like, oh yeah, it shows right away. It is really something that you have to look at, and you have to know, I would say, the world of Dior to be able to know what to look for in terms of sizing and font and format of the serial number, and also where to look at, because the location isn't like super apparent because the pouch is very small and very thin. It makes it kind of hard to open it and therefore kind of hard to see the serial number. I would say that this is actually an excellent replica, and when I say excellent, I mean like near perfect. This would be very hard for me to tell the difference if I didn't have the real one to compare it to. So if you are interested in getting the fake one, I will go ahead and leave all of the relevant information in the description box of the video down below. This is definitely a fake that I would advise if you're looking to acquire a fake Dior bag. I would advise this company because I've been very surprised with the level of quality and then the level of detail that there is to this handbag. So if you're not sure if you want to acquire the real one, or if you're a little bit scared of getting a white bag, that was me a couple of months ago, I don't blame you, definitely feel you there. So I would recommend this Fake Factory. I think that it is a very good quality item. In general, they put a lot of care into their products and it shows. Now, obviously, can't speak about the durability of the item, but really in terms of aesthetics and of looks, it looks quite amazing, and really frankly, I'm a little scared of like mixing them up. I'm like, always remember which one is in this hand, which one is in that hand. Make sure that you're like super scrutinizing your items to not mix them up. But yeah, it's to that level of being good. So that's why I would recommend it. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was informational and beneficial for you in case you were looking at finding out a little bit more about the differences between a real and a fake Dior Bobby bag, and kind of see if you were able to spot the differences. There were very few of them. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.